Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere and probably right where you're at, too.
All right, quiet on the set.
Polkas After Dark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the party.
Broadcasting around the world. This is your number one internet station. The music you love right here, right now.
It's another live broadcast. Special edition. Now your host, Rob.
Oh, I guess that's me. I'm Rob. Okay, cool. Yeah, Jerry's not here. She is flying. She's on her way back. She's up in the air right now. I did check, and it looks like she will be arriving after the show, unfortunately, but can't wait to see her because she's been visiting with Mom down in North Carolina. But if you joined us yesterday, you guys heard all about that anyhow. Hey, you know what you're going to hear about today? Mr. Kevin Kurdziel. He's going to be joining us this afternoon for an interview not too long from now. I'd say probably around 5:30-ish or so. It's 2 minutes past the hour of 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to start some things off featuring Kevin on the accordion. Here's one by the Brass Works, and here's one called I'm Confessing Polka.
Chłopak jak chłopak, polu dobrze łoże, dobrze mi się dzieje. Chwała Tobie Boże, dobrze mi się dzieje. Chwała Tobie Boże, mam koników parę, 4 wolki w płogu, a łupię maluśką, bez żadnego długo, a łupię maluśką, bez żadnego długo. Hej, pracy nie choruje, lenisem się żyje. Hej, za nie roboty, to się nie powstydzę. Hej, za nie roboty, to się nie powstydzę. Rozryga się w polu śpiewanie, oranie. Hej, przyjdzie do domu, czeka mnie kochanie. Hej, przyjdzie do domu, czeka mnie kochanie. Łasa! Grajcie, chłopcy, grajcie!
Hey, that's a little bit of a live tune that's coming out of the Brass Works I'm Confessing Polka. Hey, folks, if you're just joining us, well, welcome to Polkas After Dark. If you're a newbie, well, we thank you so much for stopping in here. Hey, we're going to say hello, good evening to Jan Dressler. She's here front and center already. Mr. Mike Reel, he is tuned in along with Darlene out there in Chicopee, Mass. Dan Novak, brother Dan, down there in New Mexico. Let's see, also we have Ken Nowoski. Ken, thank you for tuning us in. Greg Schwoidak, he's here in full force. We got a chance to hear him today from noon to 3 on WXRL AM 1300, 95.5 FM and WXRL.com. We were actually driving around, so we were able to listen to him on the radio, the Polka Motion Show, every Sunday afternoon from 12 noon to 3 p.m., Man, if you haven't caught that yet, you need to do it. So please make sure you do. And if you're out of town, like a lot of our viewers are, well, make sure that you log in to WXRL.com. It's free, it's easy, and that's all that matters. And that describes Greg to a nutshell, free and easy. Hey, we've got Sharon and Tom Golden. Welcome to you guys. Thanks for hopping in here. Basha Lynn is here this evening along with Bob. Good evening to you kids. Martha Gretchen, gosh, we've got a whole bunch of folks here. Janet Cudney, Janet, thank you. Greg Sakowitz, hey, Greg's tuned in because he's going to be able to hear one of his favorite musicians and one of ours on an interview, and that is Mr. Kevin Kurdziel. He's coming up real soon. Looks like Andrew Ratajczak is here. So thank you so much for popping in here on Polkas After Dark. David Desolaris, thank you again. And AJ Zaleski, looks like he is tuned in as well. And of course, we can't forget the lovely Chris Tansky. She's here watching us. She is our Buffalo Polka Booster president. And there's going to be a lot of things coming up. I think their next meeting, I think is in April, but I'm not too certain about that. Linda Petrozeski from Niagara Falls. Mr. Kevin Kurdziel, he says he's looking forward to it, so he snuck in here. That's what it is. Hey, we've got a song coming up featuring Kevin, and here's one by Polka Family called Graj Hopsi Graj, and I wonder if you guys have ever heard this before.
Graj, chłopcy, graj, ładną piosenkę i zaśpiewaj.
Nobody does it like Hank Gazevich and Polka family. Graj, hopsy graj. We thank you so much for stopping in here this evening. Hey, we're going to say hello to Mary Kempka. She is here this evening. Hello to, or Kempa, sorry. And also Alice Fischler. She is tuned in all the way up in Canada. And let's take a quick peek because Jerry usually does this. I'm very bad at this, but let's see who's hanging out with us over in YouTube. Hey, look, it's Ashley Torres. She finally remembered to stop in. And I got your message a little bit late, but sorry that you didn't get the ding that you're supposed to get. And we're also going to say hello to musical Mark Swoger, the city of North Tonawanda, New York, and his puppy dog Nate, and of course, the lovely gal that shares the stage with him, and that is oh gosh, hang on one second here. I am getting a call, and it is Jerry, and I'm not going to put her on the phone, but let's go ahead and bring up a song by Freddie K.
Mamy piwo, mamy wódkę, już się nikt nie kryje. To ma za co, to przynajmniej dobre 100 gdzieś pije. Dawniej piliśmy szlak piwo i szlak muczajnówkę. Dzisiaj mamy mocne piwo i prawdziwą wódkę. Jemu w odciąć rodowali i łapówką ciebie prali, do dzielu siedziali. Dzisiaj jakiś ciut chłopaka wędrować spróbuje, to mu mozek mamo bracie, ponoć jego czuje. To pył i gotowa. Dzisiaj choćbyś wypingale, nie będziesz choroba. Pij mi wódkę, dobre piwo, tak młody jak stary. Good luck Mary, good luck Johnny, good luck everybody.
Hey, that's Freddie K and the band, Too Many Drinks, and I'm sure we've all been down that road at one point. Hey, as I was so interrupted by the phone call, sorry about that, I do want to let you guys know that we do want to make sure that you guys watch Musical Mark Swoger over there on Facebook. It's Maria A. Blasting's page, I believe, because Musical Mark and Nate have been having some issues with the phone, with the transmission equipment, and that does happen, Mark, so don't worry about that. But we want to make sure you guys are tuned in to him every Saturday afternoon, and that is at 4 p.m. Gosh, who else do we want to say hello to? Martha Gretchen has joined us. Good evening to you, Martha. Also, Gina Gamolka is watching. Hello to you, Gina. Welcome to Polkas After Dark. It's not dark yet here in Buffalo, but pretty soon it will be anyhow. Hey, Michelle Trzynski is here from Michigan. Hello to you. Marcia Moscato, good evening to you as well. And let's get another polka tune up here. Here's the Dynatones, a little bit of Scrubby with Dorotka.
Had this swing on Jarvis Whitley, Jarvis Whitley. Swing jest zakorami, a teraz śpi. Kłapusi na rosowy, spej podusi, łoży ze mnie, kłopotka, ci kłopotak, śpigota.
Hey, Scrubby and the Dynatones doing some of their fine work there with Dorotka, and we are going to say good evening to Barbara and Albert Bukowski. Always great to see you guys here in the chat room, whether you're watching or listening, and we're going to send it out to the granddaughters, too. We've got to make sure that we do that. The whole Bukowski family, why not, while we're at it? And it looks like John and Marge Subcheck are tuned in from Florida, down there in the Villages, so thank you so much. Hope you and Marge are doing well. John, thank you very, very much for stopping in here to Polkas After Dark. Hey, we've got a couple of things that we want to remind you about, so let's go ahead and do that right now.
Holy Toledo! Polkas come alive again with the first major festival of the 2024 polka season with Holy Toledo Polka Days. This epic event will feature your host band, the Dynabrass.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw.
Plus, Lenny Gamolka and the Chicago Push. 7. Gary Kaminsky's Polka Network. Polka Mojo. The Polka Country Musicians. And the Holy Toledo Jam Band. Thursday, April 11th through Sunday, April 14th. Don't miss our Hot American Polka Parties with yours truly, Kenny Olowin, broadcasting live from the event. You'll want to be part of it. The best food, drinks, and the top names in polka entertainment. Reserve a space in your life for a great time with us at Holy Toledo Polka Days at the Holiday Inn and Suites in Perrysburg, Ohio, April 11th through the 14th. Go to HolyToledoPolkaDays.com for the whole story. Holy Toledo Polka Days 24, April 11th through the 14th.
Follow me to the party, follow me to the fun.
Hey, gonna be a great time there. Holy Toledo Polka Days. Joe Zaleski and the gang. When you get out there, tell them hello, because I don't know if Jerry and I are going to be able, with vacation time schedules, if we're going to be able to actually make it this year over to Holy Toledo. Hey, we've got a bunch of great songs coming up for you, and let's see here. How about a tune by Michael Costa and The Beat? Here's one called When I Saw You. Hey, good evening to Carol Barron.
I saw you standing there, violet ribbons in your hair, and the sunshine on your face, memories of our embrace. When I saw you standing there, then I saw you walk within, and I felt my tears begin, just to know you once were mine. Another place, another time, when I saw you walk with him. was a time when all the plans you made had me in mind. How I'd hope our love would last, but I'm a memory from your past, and your future is not mine. Then I saw you standing there, as I pretended not to care. I felt my heart just skip a beat, saw my dreams left incomplete when I saw you standing there. When I saw you standing there, memories of times we shared, things I should have let you know, words of love I could not show. When I saw you standing there, then I saw you talk to him, and I felt that love within. It's that look you once showed me, but I was too blind to see. Now I see you look at him. But there was a time when all the plans you made had me in mind. How I'd hope our love would last, but I'm a memory from your past, and your future is not mine. When I saw you standing there, 'cause I pretended not to care. I felt my heart just skip a beat, saw my dreams left incomplete when I saw you standing there. Just to know you once were mine, another place, another time, when I saw you standing there.
Yeah, that's a band that we got to hear over the New Year's Eve weekend extravaganza with the Puko Yashu Gang, and what a great time we had there. And we do want to make mention that that will not be happening this year. Unfortunately, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day fall during the week, and unfortunately a lot of people are not going to be able to get the time off from work. Hey, you're tuned to Polkas After Dark. I'm going to be getting Mr. Kevin Kurdziel on the phone in about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to be going live with an interview. Everybody remembers Kevin from Buffalo, New York, now, of course, residing in the New Jersey area. Hey, we also want to make mention of one more thing here real quick.
Hi, this is Richie Dombrowski of the Polka Country Musicians, inviting you to join us for the 9th annual Ocean Beach Park Polka Days, taking place at beautiful sunny Ocean Beach Park in New London, Connecticut, June 19th to June 22nd, 2024. Yours truly, the Polka Country Musicians, will once again be your host band as we bring you some of the nation's finest polka bands. This year, joining us at Ocean Beach Park Polka Days will be Frank Liska's Blue Magic, Polka Family Band, Matt's All-Stars, the Dynabrass, Eddie Foreman Orchestra, The Beat, the Maestro's Men, the New Tones, and returning once again to Ocean Beach, Wisconsin's own Live Wire. They'll all be joining yours truly, the Polka Country Musicians, to make this another great polka weekend. We'll get this party started once again on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. on the boardwalk with PCM, and music will continue Thursday through Saturday in the Picnic Pavilion during the day and in the ballroom all evening long. For tickets, questions, and any other information, please visit our website at www.oceanbeachparkpolkadays.com and follow us on our Facebook page, Ocean Beach Park Polka Days. It's going to be a great time at Ocean Beach Park Polka Days 2024. We can't wait to see you all again. Make your plans now to join us. You'll be glad you did. We hope to see you all again at the beach.
Hope to see everybody at the beaches right after the winter that we've had. It was actually pretty okay in a sense. That was my ding-ding to let me know that I have to give Mr. Kevin Kurdziel a call. See, I have to set all kind of timers and stuff like this. Hey, we're going to say hello to Danny Roy, also to Carol and Renee. Good evening to you guys. It's waltz time right now. And we're going to bring Walt up to do a waltz. No, it's a waltz time, and it's the Bellhops out of Pennsylvania. Check this out. Here's one called Mary's Waltz. Hey, that is the Bellhops out of Pennsylvania, McKeesport area to be exact. Hey, guys, gals, we are so excited right now because we have a gentleman whom I have known for, without exaggeration, over 40 years. And it's amazing because he's only 36. But we are going to be talking live here in just a second with Mr. Kevin Kurdziel. Kevin, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear, yes.
Perfect. Well, welcome to Polkas After Dark, and thanks for taking the time away from family to hang out with me this evening. Normally, Jerry is here too, but she is flying back. She visited her mom down in North Carolina this weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and she flies back today. But we've got a lot of great people here. Hey, Sue Howard says hello.
Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, Sue. We also go back a long way with Sue as well.
I was just going to say, there are so many questions that I have to ask you, but it's because you played with Jan Simon in the musical Airs.
Yes.
I had a chance to do a stint with you guys, too, as a matter of fact. It was a lot of fun. But
yes.
Let's go ahead and kind of start things off traditionally the way I always do, Kevin. And that is, what is your checking routing number? If you could give me that first of all.
Yes, it's 77 as in 77 Waltz Avenue.
Oh, gosh, now you're bringing it back, aren't you?
Yes, oh, yeah.
Club 77, geez.
Yes.
Hey, what age did you hear your first polka, Kevin?
Oh, God, it probably as far back as I can remember, I would say 4 or 5 years old. And I think my first exposure to, I would say, somewhat pseudo polka music would have been Myron Florin on the Lawrence Welk Show, which is kind of been that was kind of my inspiration to play accordion, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
And then, obviously I have 2 older brothers who had various bands when they were starting out. So I was always exposed to it from a younger age. So, but yeah, I think going back to like when I was 4 years old is probably the earliest that I can remember listening and knowing what a polka was.
Wow, that is great. Holy smokes. And now you're bringing it back with Lawrence Welk, Myron Florin. Boy, that, I got a chance to see Myron Florin at one of the Catskill locations entertaining with Jimmy Sturr. Oh, gosh. I mean, this has to be going way, way back. But did you ever get a chance to see him live?
No, unfortunately, I never did. So, I wish I would have, because to me that would have been like the epitome of my polka career or music
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I never got the opportunity. But I still watch some of the reruns that are on PBS and
Oh, yeah.
look back fondly, knowing that that was one of the reasons why I decided to play the accordion.
Beautiful. Now, besides accordion, what other instruments do you play, Kev?
Well, I also play bass guitar, self-taught on bass, just kind of a hack on bass. And then I do play keyboards, obviously. So that's pretty much it. Although not many people know this, but I originally started out taking lessons, only a couple lessons on trumpet. But because I really still had that love for the accordion, I decided, I wanted to go with accordion, wasn't feeling trumpet, although I kind of regret that now a little bit, because I think I could be like you, Robin. I could have played both, but unfortunately, I never went that route. And, it's been, as they say, all, downhill from there.
Well, Kevin, it is never too late to pick up an instrument. I always wanted to play sax and clarinet. Guess what? That never happened either. So I feel your pain, but hey, you could always pick up a trumpet and start to tinker. Now, you'd mentioned that you grew up with two older musicians in the family, and that, of
Right.
course, is Nigel and Mike. And we've had Nigel on shortly after his induction into the IPA, and
Yes.
we got to get a chance to get a hold of Mike and bring him on. We can talk about the Focus Days and something that I want to bring to light right now, and that
Yes.
is the Skylarks.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about a little bit about the Skylarks for those who don't know the band.
Right. So the Skylarks, they were a local Buffalo band, headed up by Val Bukowski and his brothers, Al and Terry. And my brother Mike happened to be playing drums with them. And this was in 1982. I had just graduated eighth grade. They played my eighth grade graduation. And I, went up and played a couple of tunes. And before I know it, they were like, hey, why don't you join the band? So there I was, 12 or 13 years old, playing with a bunch of guys who were probably had, in many cases, 10 or 20 years on me.
Wow.
And that's really where I got my start in polka music. So I have to thank them. I know Barb and Al are out there tonight.
Yeah.
But those are the people that got me started in polka music. It was nice being able to perform, obviously, with my brother. And that my parents were comfortable with me doing that because Mike was there. So they felt that, I wasn't going to get into trouble, although they probably don't really know the half of it. But nevertheless, it was because of playing with the Skylarks. And, we did some interesting things. We went to Poland. We backed up Happy Louie in Poland.
Yep.
And we met some great people along the way, as performing as the Skylarks. So again, a great big a debt of gratitude to the Bukowskis, because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have gotten my start in polka music, or not as early as I did.
Well, it's not only Big Al and Barb that are tuned in, but also that guy that you mentioned, that Val guy. He's also tuned in.
I see that. So I never know with Val. He could be doing something sneaky behind the scenes right now.
Oh boy. So tell me, I know some of the bands that you've recorded with. You've performed and recorded with the Dynatones. You recorded
Correct.
a couple of LPs with them. You also
Yes.
did some stuff with Jolly Rich, Freddie
Yes.
K, Polka Family, of course. You had a couple of recordings with them. And first of all, let's start with the band that you went to after the Skylarks. Who was that?
Yes. I actually went to the Dynatones. So that was, I think it was 1987, if memory serves me correctly. And not long after that, we recorded Power of 10. That was the time when the Dynatones took a little hiatus. You were with the band at the time. I think it was 84. They took a few years off, and 87 was the reemergence of the band. And
Yes.
they asked me to play. And again, another opportunity that really, I think, helped pave the way for me with additional opportunities in polka music.
Man, that's great. And then who did you go to after that? What band did you play with?
So quite ironically, now this is so when you look at this, doesn't happen it doesn't happen on purpose. But when you look back at my polka career, I typically had followed Al Piakowski. So he was playing with the Dynatones. They broke up.
Okay.
I go play with the Dynatones. The next band after that, he went to go play at the Brassworks. I leave the Diatones, move to New Jersey. I end up playing with the Brass Works. And then when I went to play with Freddie Kay, again, I'm replacing Al Piakowski.
Oh, wow.
Not that I'm anywhere near the level of accordion player that he is. And so it was always a challenge for me to follow Al, but it kind of seemed to work out that way for the first few moves that I made after leaving Buffalo. And again, I don't think people like kind of look at that and realize that, but I always said like, wow, I'm the guy who ended up replacing Al. So to me, I always felt, a very close bond to Al Piakowski.
Nice. And don't ever underestimate your playing abilities, Kevin, because I've heard you on stage. Now I'm going to take you way back.
Yes.
Are you going to be ready for this?
Yes. We might be thinking about the same thing, but okay.
Betcha we are. Does it start with an E?
No, I was thinking, no, it doesn't. So let me see where you're going to go with
Okay,
this.
I'm going to go with the exploditones.
Okay. Yes, I knew you were going to mention that as well. Yes. We unfortunately never got that band off the ground.
No.
I guess it imploded before it exploded, but yeah, I don't know. You might want to tell the people what we were thinking about doing in Buffalo at the time.
Well, let's see here. Was your two brothers, yourself, Val Bukowski, we had Scotch, Eddie Skachillis, and let's see. I'm trying to think. Was Dave Maguda part?
I think Dave Clemens was part of that too, if I remember.
No, I think it was Dave Maguda actually.
Or Dave Maguda, right? Because there were a couple. I think we had a couple iterations of the band. Like starting out, we were starting, and some guys were interested. We practiced, and then other guys came in, and
yes.
But yeah, the Exploditones never took off.
Never got off.
And what better band for Val Bukowski to play with than a band called the Exploditones, right?
Isn't that for sure? Holy smokes. All right, so now let's go with your following Al Piatkowski. Where did you end up after Freddie Kay?
So after Freddie Kay, I ended up playing with, I was doing some fill-in work with Chuck Pendrak out of Philadelphia, and that was a little different for me because that was a little bit more Eastern style. And then I ended up playing with Rhythm and Sound. Actually, I probably reversed that, but no, I actually played with Rhythm and Sound first, and then I went to Freddie Kay. So yeah, I was playing with Chuck. I went to Rhythm and Sound, and then I went to Freddie Kay after that. And I think it was 1995 after Al left to go play with the Beat around that time frame.
Now, who was with Rhythm and Sound at the time you were playing with them?
Yeah, so it was Frank Borzymowski was obviously the vocalist and sax player with the band. We had Stan Rychik from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on drums, Bobby Saharsky on bass. They were actually two guys who were mainstays in the Chuck Pendrak Orchestra. So that's kind of how I got to know them and ended up going to Rhythm and Sound from filling in with Chuck. Then we had Joey Osuch on trumpet, and I'm trying to think who. Oh, we had Dave Bonnock on accordion originally, a young guy from Baltimore. So that was the original members of Rhythm and Sound.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What other bands have you worked with or recorded with?
So I also recorded with a local band here in New Jersey called Mike Nimitz and the Variety Band. I actually recorded bass guitar on that Stars and Stripes CD. And I said I'm self-taught on bass guitar. I think I taught myself to play bass maybe 6 months before that recording came out. So the reference tracks were very rough, but we recorded that with Hank Kusevich, and I obviously had time to, as we recorded that CD, kind of hone my bass skills a little bit more. But it was interesting for me to do something different than accordion. So I was able to also record piano on that, which was nice because playing bass and piano, I was able to match the left hand of the piano very nicely to the bass. But that was an interesting recording for me.
Nice.
And then I also, obviously, you mentioned I recorded with Polka Family.
Yes.
We did those two CDs, Let's Go Polka Dancing 2008, and also Hungry for More. I like the fact that you played Graj Łapce Graj at the top of the show because not many people, I always like to share stories about the recordings.
Yeah, please.
Not many people noticed when we were recording. First of all, that was the first CD that I recorded with Polka Family where the whole band was recording together. A lot of times we would just have the CD previous to that, Greg recorded the drum tracks, and then we all went in and did our separate parts. But the whole band recorded. And initially, Graj Łapce Graj, we were going to record that in the style of Happy Louie. And for some reason, Hank Kusevich at the last minute said, you know what, let's just try this regular. Because he goes, I think it's going to have a really snappy beat to it. And we recorded that. We were playing the night before in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, on the Saturday. It was the first Saturday in June of 2008. We went over to Hank's house, recorded it, and it was just that was. If you would ask me what CD I'm most proud of, probably that one, because I felt that we were just firing on all cylinders when we recorded that, and there was just such a great energy having the
Yeah.
whole band play together.
Yeah, that's true too. And Val Bukowski chimed in again. He says he thought that one of the band's creations' name was Toys, Toyz. And I do remember that as well. So, like you said, there were a couple of different variations of the
Yes,
exploditones, and I think that's kind of something that we ended up doing. Now,
yes,
you played a lot in Buffalo. You played, oh gosh, North Tonawanda, the MVets Post with the
yeah,
Skylarks. Uh,
right.
Tell me about some of the gigs with the Skylarks, because I'm sure you have some memorable stories about that. And please keep it clean.
Oh yeah, no, I'll keep it clean. Again, the playing with the Skylarks, that was my first experience being on the road, playing the infamous and no longer in existence Brook State Inn
Oh
out
yeah.
there in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And Brook State, we used to play Friday and Saturday, so that was the first time I ever got a chance to go on the road. We also played Erie Polka Days when it was at Waldemere Park, which again, I always think that the younger kids missed out, because that
Oh,
festival, again, you could walk around the entire ballroom and probably get drunk 2 or 3 times over.
completely,
Everybody with the cherries and the coolers, and it was
yes.
as bring your own bottles. So I mean, you don't find that at the festival now, so you can only imagine. But those are some of the places I remember. As I said, I went to Poland with the Skylarks, and we played a lot of places. One place that comes to mind, and Val will laugh about this. One Dingus Day, we played a lounge called Leo's Lounge in
Leo's
Clarence, New
Lounge.
York. I don't know if the place is still in existence, but
Wow.
they took Dingus Day and the squirt guns to a new level. At
Uh-oh.
the end of the night, they were literally throwing buckets of water around, and we had to get the hell out of there, because we were either going to be electrocuted, or our instruments were going to be ruined. And I'm sure Val remembers that, but I'm telling you, it was crazy. And again, I was probably all of like 16 or 17 years old. And I'm like, what did I get myself into here? This is crazy. But, I remember, it's like some of those things pop into your mind at weird times too. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah, so those are some of
priceless.
the memories I made. And another one was, I always remember too playing the Buffalo Polka Booster picnics back in the day, when they had about 12 bands and each band played an hour.
Yes.
Everybody donated their time.
And they
And
had like
that was also a
400
lot
to
of fun.
600 people that showed up too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And as members of Buffalo Polka Boosters, we also used to take turns pouring beer and cooking the hamburgers and stuff. So
Oh
it was a lot of
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Hey, do you have a favorite genre of music, Kevin, that you listen to when you're not listening to polkas?
I kind of like a little bit of everything, but I think if I were to nail it down, I would say I'm a big fan, and this probably comes as no surprise. Bluegrass music. I do like to listen to bluegrass and country.
Yeah.
But I like to. I recently started getting into a little bit into classical music, because
Oh,
my daughter-in-law plays viola in a local orchestra, and I got the opportunity to see her one of her performances, and I really started to like just isolate the music in my mind when I was at the concert, and I'm like, wow, this is really relaxing and really good to hear what some of these classical composers put together. It gives you a whole new appreciation of music in general. Sometimes in polkas we go up on stage and we all play, and we sometimes forget about the dynamics, right? Or that each of
yes.
us really has their own part. I mean, that's something that Hank Savage taught me, is like, hey, we all have our own part here, even though we're one unit. 6 guys. Like, there's times when you have to play quieter. There's times when the vocal needs to punch. There's times when you can hit that off chord.
Yeah.
And I think like I got more of appreciation for that with classical music as well.
Oh, nice. Nice. Now, is that Brian's missus?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So Brian, yeah, Brian's been married a little bit more than a year now. Just
Good
Brian
for
and
him.
Erica celebrated their first anniversary in November.
Well, congratulations. I had the pleasure of being part of one of his jam bands over at the USPA one year in Cleveland,
Yes.
Ohio, and that was a lot of fun. And talk about talent, he must have gotten something from dad. But now I also want to make mention here, your missus used to perform, and I don't know if a lot of people know that or not. Maureen,
Probably not.
yeah, Maureen had played, and tell us just briefly a little bit about what she did.
Sure. So, Maureen, the former Maureen Stolars,
Yeah.
performed with a band out of New Jersey with her brother and sister, called the Polka Shamrocks.
Yep.
They're half Irish and they're half Polish, so that's where the name came from. And they, had a pretty good following here in New Jersey. A matter of fact, I still get people coming up to me like, "Hey, are they ever going to get back together again? Are they going to do a reunion?" And the answer to that is no, they're not.
Uh,
So actually, Brian and I were kind of toying around, thinking that maybe we should do a Polka Shamrocks tribute band at some point, just
Ooh.
for giggles. I'll say,
Yeah.
excuse
Yep.
me, I almost used a
No,
bad
no,
word there, but
the
just
SHITZ. Yeah, we've
yes,
used
right,
that a
yes,
lot, as
exactly.
a matter of fact.
Um, yeah, exactly. But just to do something to honor their contribution to polka music, so you might see that coming up in a couple of years,
Oh,
but
wow.
nothing definite on that yet.
That would be nice. We'll give Maureen our best when you see
I
her.
sure will.
And let's see. And also Brian and his missus. Now, let's
Yes.
see. Do you know how to speak Polish? Because I know you sing Polish.
No, not really. I know a little bit in Polish. My parents both spoke Polish, so they were usually the go-to if I needed to know how to pronounce a word. I mean, nowadays it's easy because you just go to an app on the phone. But
Yeah.
back then it was like, "Hey, mom, how do you say this?" Or "What does this accent mark mean?" And how do you pronounce it? So that's pretty much how I did that. I appreciate that because I often thought my Polish was horrible, but I went to Poland last year. Maureen and I went to Poland with John Guda, so I survived that. So I guess if I was able to do that, I can at least get by in Poland.
Wow.
At least I can ask for a beer and some kielbasa.
Now, did you perform with Gura out there, or did you guys just go just to hang out, you and
Well,
Maureen?
we just went, but John, always carries an accordion with him. He always has instruments with him. Like, John Guda
Yes.
can pull out stuff out of his hat at any
Yes.
moment, right? So, and Eddie Foreman was there too. So Eddie had an accordion, and I
Oh,
ended up playing a few days. It was funny. We played a couple things just acoustically, right? And we were in Zakopane, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's get together and play." And he's like, "Oh, a guy's going to be dropping off a drum set." Well, the guy drops off the drum set and also pulls in with a bass amp, hooks up the bass amp, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh man, this guy's not going to know our polkas. Like he's not going to know anything." We start playing. He's hitting everything. Like he's right on it, and I'm like,
wow.
"Dude, how did you learn this stuff?" He's like, "Oh, I grew up in Canada. My wife is from Poland, but he's like, I grew up with polkas, and I heard all the Buffalo polka shows and stuff." So it was pretty neat, because you never know. And then just some of the bands out there that we saw, the more traditional stuff. I mean, there was this one lady who was playing upright bass, and she was probably all of 5 feet tall, very small hands. She was nailing that upright bass, and some of the chords, Robin, that she played would send shivers down your spine. I mean,
Oh,
honestly, I was sitting there listening, and I'm like, wow, I got to remember that because those chord progressions she's playing are awesome.
oh,
So that was
unreal.
that was really a great time, and I would recommend to anybody. I know a lot of people run trips to Poland, but if you get the opportunity to go with John, you will not be disappointed.
Well, I have heard that from a lot of people, and I got to get John back on here at some point. We interviewed him probably during the COVID area, so it was around 2020 when we first started doing the interviews. And yeah, I understand, and I totally can believe that John is a class act with his music, so he's got to be a class act with his tours that he runs to Poland and so on. And told
Yeah,
Jerry, I says at some point, her and I have to make arrangements to do that. That's
absolutely.
on our bucket list. That's for sure.
So
Hey,
Robin,
yes.
I do have to mention this because again, it's probably something that not most people know, but one of the guys that helped me with accordion lessons was you. If you remember, back at the old Polka Studio, 1763 Clinton Street,
Oh,
the old record store that Scrubby and Nigel ran.
yes.
A couple times we used to sit around with the accordions, and you used to show me a lot of different runs on accordion. So I don't know if I've ever like thanked you for that, but I do owe you
Oh,
something for
geez.
that because you also helped me out and taught me a lot of things that I still use to this day, believe it or not.
Oh gosh, well I thank you so much. That's those fist chords that I used to play, right? Is that what you're talking
Yes,
about?
exactly. Yep, and how you cross the fingers over and all
Yeah,
that stuff. Yes,
exactly.
uh,
Crossing fingers to make
absolutely.
sure that you do get through the next part. Hey, what record? And thank you for that, Kevin. Thank you.
Yes.
Uh, what recording studios have you recorded in now? I know Hank has his own thing set up and does a remarkable job with engineering as well as as mixing, and then he sends a lot of stuff down to Mr. Gary Ramey, which a lot of people do. But
Right.
tell me what studios have you recorded in with the other bands?
Yeah, so primarily it was either Square Studios, which again, unfortunately, is no longer there, and
Yeah,
may Paul Square rest in peace. And the original Square Studios, where you did your first solo project, which I believe you also used my accordion on,
I did.
the old
You are
Sonic Ward.
correct.
I also recorded at Peppermint Productions, and then just with Hank. So believe it or not, only those studios. Some of the Polka Family recordings were actually recorded in my basement when I lived in Bloomfield, New Jersey, too. So a lot of
Oh,
it we started
really?
out at Hank's house, and it was kind of like a central point for everybody meeting. So we recorded a lot of those parts in the basement, and so I kind of say it was I was part of that old house is part of polka history as well. Not only the
Wow.
Shamrocks, but also the Polka Family as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Hey, a favorite band that you never had the opportunity to perform with or play in, but you always wanted to, past or present, and it doesn't necessarily need to be a polka band. Do you have?
Well, no, it would. I think there would be two bands. So, from a polka perspective, I would have loved to play with the Tones. I think they were. I played them on my show a couple of weeks ago, and I said, they were probably one of what I would consider polka music's first really innovative bands.
Oh yeah.
Not taking anything away from anybody else, but
Nope.
I love Roger Malinowski's drum playing. And when I was on a cruise a couple of years ago, I got the chance to fill in on stage with Roger, which was again another highlight of my career. But definitely the Tones, I think. And then from just a regular musical genre perspective, even though they don't have an accordion or anything, but Rush. I think again, Rush from Canada was a
Oh.
phenomenal band, and obviously Neil Peart was a phenomenal drummer. And to play with a drummer like that,
Oh, nice.
it would have been like playing like with you, like honestly, and I don't say that jokingly. I think if I were to say, if you ask me who my top 5 drummers are, I'm not going to give them in any order, but I will just say you're on that list.
Oh, well,
So
thank you.
it's always been a pleasure like performing with you. And we just had so much fun together on the road back with Jan Simon and
Oh.
some of the things that we did and went through. I don't know, Robin, if you remember, we were playing with Jan Simon, and this is a clean story. We went out, I think we were playing in Massachusetts, and we went out to eat. And you convinced us to pay for an old lady's dinner who was sitting there having dinner by herself. I don't
Yes.
know if
Yes.
you remember that. And
I do
like
that.
that's still like young and impressionable, and I remember that to this day. And I'm like,
Wow.
you know what? That like those are the things that you want to walk away with from polka music. You have the fun and you have the hijinks and all that stuff that you do. But like I was like, that was really cool that Robin suggested that. We all did that, and I think it made the ladies' night.
Well, you know what's funny is Jerry and I do that to this day. If we go out to eat, we will pick an individual that is elderly, and we will notify the server that we are going to purchase their meal. And a lot of times, Jerry and I will just kind of disappear, and we
Right.
don't, we don't do anything. But we did get nailed one time over at a favorite place that we love to go, and that's the Olive Garden here in
Oh, okay.
the Hamburg Blaisdell area. But we did get nailed because the guy, as he was walking out, he passed us and he said, "You guys bought my meal, didn't you?" And
Huh.
we said yes, and he was just so happy and so ecstatic, and it brings a tear to your eye when you do something like that. But I think people need to do it. It's not the pay it forward thing, okay?
No,
It's
no.
it's not anything like that. But the paying forward stuff is one thing, but this is just, and it's not even when it's a holiday. Sometimes you want to do it
Right.
because it's a holiday. But just to be able to do it, we go out in the summertime or the springtime and we'll have dinner and we'll just take a look around. And Jerry will say, "Hey, take a look over there." And I'll say, "Yeah, okay." Or I'll do the same thing. I'll say, "Well, what do you think?" She'll say, "Yep, let's just do it." And
Yep.
it's,
No, that's beautiful.
and it's very meaningful to go to sleep at night and say, "Hey, you did something like that." So thank you for
Yeah,
mentioning that too. Gosh, I can't
No,
believe.
yeah, it just always left a memory, and Maureen and I also do that once in a while with veterans. If we see a vet
Ah.
at a diner, or somebody who is currently serving, if they have their their uniform on, we will pay for it. And the same thing, we try to like just get out of there and not make a big thing about it, because again, they're serving our country. I know we have like
Yes.
Barb Bukowski's listening today. She served our country, and now
Yes.
she's serving her community as a council person. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. There's so many good people out there that sometimes just need a little uplift to make their life a little bit better. And if it means just spending a couple bucks on them, it's really worth it.
And I will say this too, real quick, because you just jogged my memory about it was pre-COVID, so probably about 17 or 18, 2017, 2018. Jerry and I were at a hobby store, and she had to pick up some stuff, and there was an elderly gentleman that was behind me, and I said, "Well, why don't you go ahead?" And he was purchasing a model of a plane. And I said, "Are you going? Is this for your son, your grandson?" He says, "No." He says, "I do this a lot. It just keeps me occupied." And he had a hat on. And I said,
Right.
"Tell me a little bit about it." He did. I said, "Would you mind if we paid for your model?" And he says, "Oh, you don't have to do that." And I said, "You're right, we don't. But you didn't have to go to fight for us to have the freedom
Right.
to be able to do something like that." And he just got all
Exactly.
teary eyed, and we did too. But, it's just one of those little things. So I'm glad you brought that up, because you're really jogging
Yes.
some memories. Now
Yes.
we got to go into memories of Jan Simon on the road. Okay,
Oh,
so take it from here.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the video on YouTube of us playing at Timmer's Grove.
Oh, I
We
have.
recorded the TV. It's there, and I remember that weekend, because like we went into the hotel, and like we took one look at the hotel. We're like, okay, we got to get some Lysol and some bug spray at the very least. And that was an interesting, that was a very interesting weekend. I don't even know if we actually stayed at the hotel. I think we just went there, and we're like, oh no, not
Yeah.
this. We're not staying here, Jan. You got to find another place for us. We had some interesting times. I shared a story with somebody about you, Robin, and I'm not going to go into it on the air, but we were playing somewhere in Massachusetts. I'll just go kind of in general form, but you were in rare form that day, walking around the hotel room, I
Yep.
should say.
I know where you're going with this.
Yes, okay. So, and you even went outside, which
Yes.
I give you a lot of credit for.
Yes. I used to do stuff like that with the Trolltones and some others, but thank God you didn't go into to huge
Yeah,
detail.
no.
But yep, that's another thing that you just jogged my memory about. I got to put that one towards the back, though. Hey, Kevin, do you
Yeah.
have a memorable gig that you played with one of the bands that will always stick in your mind?
I think so. I don't have a specific date, but I think every time that I've played in Pulaski, Wisconsin, and I played there both with the Dynatones, the Polka family. Always to me that I was just always uh, I was always impressed and amazed by how many young kids were there dancing the polka, and really were very appreciative of the bands. And
Yes.
when I talk young kids, I'm talking about teenagers, and they apparently dance the polka in high school as part of their curriculum. But just to see their appreciation, knowing that we traveled long hours to get there, and then seeing them stand in front of the stage, and like virtually no room for dancers. I mean,
Yeah.
just I don't know how many deep people, probably 10, 20 rows back of people just standing in front of the stage. So I think anytime I played Pulaski, Wisconsin, for me was always great. And there was one gig I also played at one of the USPA festivals. I played with Polka Family too. Kind of sticks out to me. I don't know why, but I don't even remember what venue it was. It was in Cleveland, but it was just, again, one of those nights where the band was just, we were just on fire, and everybody enjoyed it. So there's a couple. I mean, Robin, you could probably feel the same way. There's so many gigs that you play over the years that it's hard to isolate it, but
Yes.
there are a few that do stand out for sure. So some great memories along the way.
Yeah, that is for gosh darn sure. Largest crowd, the memorable gigs. I was going to ask you, who did you idolize growing up? But you kind of already alluded to that towards the beginning with the Myron Florin, that you thought a
Well,
lot
yeah, Myron
of
Florin,
him.
and then Myron Florin, and then as I started playing, obviously Al Piakowski would be on my list. the late Tommy Karras, who,
Oh,
unfortunately we lost him too early, but, I got a chance to know him. And it was great because Tommy and I actually, a lot of people, again, may not know this, but Tommy and I actually performed together for about a year or 2 years with Freddie Belinsky and the Brass Works.
oh, I
There was
didn't.
actually a picture of us playing together in the Polish American Journal when we performed in Rochester. So there I am standing next to the guy who I idolized, which to me was just phenomenal. I mean, I know now how
Wow.
athletes feel when they're a young athlete and they're playing with the guy who they idolized growing up. So
Yeah.
that was amazing. And then obviously Richie Tokarz was another guy.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
may he rest in peace. But Richie Tokarz, another guy who, and not only for his accordion playing, but for the great guy he was off the stage too.
Yes, I
Just such
agree.
a, he always told me, he's like, Kevin, he's like, you don't know how long we have to live. Like, just enjoy life, do what you got to do, and just have fun. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're having fun and doing it,
Yeah.
just enjoy life because life can be short. And as you know, we lost him. I say way too early, definitely way
Yes.
too early.
You're
Again, Jerry
right.
Darlock, we lost early. I see pictures of Jerry every so often, and
Yeah.
I used to sit with him and my brother Mike at the VFW Genesee when I would come into town on a Friday afternoon after Jerry left work. Some of the best memories that I could think of, like just
Yeah.
sharing stories with Jerry. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Hey, Val's asking right now. He says, "Hey, what about backing up Marion Lush?"
Oh yeah, I'm glad Val mentioned that. So yes, another highlight of my career. And Robin, you were part of that for some of those gigs.
Yep.
Yes, backing up Marion Lush was again another highlight. Again, to have the ability to perform with a polka icon. And Robin, that by that point Marion was already a little different because he didn't play trumpet anymore. He was still playing keyboard, but God, did he have a voice, and he just had that stage presence
Oh,
where.
yeah.
And I learned a lot from him. Like I always remember him saying, like, yeah, if you see the people's heads bobbing up and down when you're playing, you know that the tempo is good. Or he would say, I want everybody to walk away humming the songs that I'm playing after they leave
Yes.
here tonight. And so those things like stuck with me. So yeah, Val, I'm glad you mentioned that because and again, I was like 17 or 18 at the time, and to have to say that I got a chance to share the stage with Marion Lush is like it's phenomenal. And yeah, there was some great memories again there too.
Yep. I hear that for certain. Kevin, it is 6:02. Can I keep you on for maybe about another 10 minutes because
Oh
I
sure.
still want to cover a few more things, and then we also have to cover your IJ career, which is
Okay, sure.
phenomenal too. So let me stay with this right now. Are you able to tell us what you do for a regular day job without divulging the company?
Yeah. So, well, I actually work in the public sector. So, I am the Workforce Development Board Director for Middlesex County, New Jersey. And every city or state or county actually has a workforce development board. Buffalo has one, and basically what those boards do is we oversee the training funds that come in from the federal government to put people back to work.
Oh,
So I
nice.
have a staff of about 35 that report to me, and I've been there 9 years, but I've been in the industry, believe it or not, almost as long as I've been in polka music. I've been working in workforce development for 33 years. So
Wow.
it's amazing, and it's a job that it's not necessarily something you get into to make a lot of money. But I'm proud of the fact that I've had the opportunity to have a positive impact on the lives of many people.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, so that's what I do, and I have a lot of fun. I drive the people crazy at work with my with my jokes and my sarcasm.
Yes.
But they finally get it though. They finally get it, which is
Good.
good.
Good. Would you have ever dreamed in your wildest dreams, Kevin, that the your background in polka music would have taken you this far to actually be there and be recognized by people that know Kevin Kurdziel because he's played with XYZ band or ABC band? Did you ever imagine that when you were young?
No, I never did. I thought, maybe I'd play for a few years and, then I'd go off and, either go to college, get married or whatever after college and kind of do my thing. But lo and behold, I guess when you marry a musician, she understands the life of a musician. So that was good for me.
Yeah.
But one of the things that blows my mind to this day is that two of the recordings I was on, when the band plays a polka and Hungry for More with Polka Family Band were nominated for Grammys. And I just by accident found that I actually have my own page on the NARIS website. So like anybody who is nominated for a Grammy, if you're part of that band, they give you a page to list your biography. And I say that not to brag, but I say that it kind of humbled me a little bit to say, wow, I would never have thought. And it's funny because the Grammys are on tonight.
Yeah.
To say that, like, wow, I'm actually listed as a Grammy nominated musician. And it's something that opens the door for me to talk about polka music. Because when you say to somebody, oh, I was nominated for a Grammy right away, well, what category? And you say polkas, they're like, polka music, really? There was a category? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And so it gives me the opportunity to be able to promote the music, which I've actually had the opportunity to do on a lot of different occasions with people either that I've worked with or run into. So that's kind of cool. It really is.
Wow. Okay, two more band related questions. Do you have a favorite breakdown story that you can share?
Oh
Maybe at
yes.
least one or two or three?
Well, there were several with the Dynatones, but I'll cover this one. We were playing in Michigan. Scrubby had just bought a used motorhome. We made it. We played a Friday in Michigan, one of the parishes there. I don't remember what it was, but we played a festival there on a Friday, and we were driving for some reason doing a Saturday gig over at Feeders Grove. It was an unusual Saturday because most times they ran a Sunday gig.
Sunday, right?
But before we even made it to Feeders Grove, we dropped the transmission on the motorhome somewhere on the
Oh,
Ohio Turnpike, right? So now here it is Saturday, and we can't get this thing fixed or towed anywhere. We finally get it towed somewhere, but we're not gonna make Feeders Grove. I don't believe we had a gig on Sunday, so most of the guys had to get back to Buffalo, and so they found alternate ways to get back, either taking a Greyhound back or renting a car or something. And everybody got back to Buffalo, but it was in middle summer. I was in college, so Scrubby and I stayed out with the motorhome, and we said, okay, well, we'll get it taken care of. And so it was maybe Monday, and we were staying right outside of right near Brook State Inn at the Red Roof. We got towed around that area. We stayed there. So Scrub said, well, let's go see Mark and Matt over at Brook State. And that was like on a Sunday. I don't think I got home until Wednesday or Thursday, and we never
oh,
got the motorhome
holy
fixed.
smokes!
So
Really?
yeah, so that was I think my girlfriend at the time actually had to come
Oh,
to pick me up because she was so mad that I was out there. She actually came
oh,
to pick me up. But yeah, that was one of the times that was not fun.
wow! Holy smokes!
I mean, it was fun,
That
but
is
looking back on it
huge.
now, I'm like, wow, it was a little rough.
Wow! Holy cow! I can't believe that. Uh,
Yeah.
And the very last band related question, then, and I want to turn the wheels over to your IJ career and DJing and so on. But what advice would Kevin Kurdziel give someone that wants to get started in music? They're brand new, they've never stepped foot on a stage, but they've always wanted to do it. They do play an instrument. Uh, Maybe they want to be a front man, maybe they want to be a side man, whatever, or side person now. What advice would you give them?
Right. I think I would tell them, just be yourself, do your thing, but do it in a way that you're not just you're not doing it to showcase your own talent necessarily, but to really, again, what we were talking about before, dynamics. Everybody has their own part in the band. Be tasteful with it. And
Yeah.
actually, we didn't talk about it, but I don't know if many people know I do have my own band here in New Jersey,
Oh,
called Dance Hall Detour, and we now are primarily playing a lot of Oktoberfest stuff. But we just had a young man join the band also on accordion and keyboards, Matt Adamski, who is Jolly Rich's grandson.
oh,
And
wow.
I work with Matt, and I say, Matt, like, just do your thing, like, just play, have fun. Like, sometimes he could be a little timid. I'm like, you know what? Doesn't matter if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. But again, I don't also want you going up there and trying to play so loud that you're the center, the focal point. So I think it's just kind of like respecting the people that came before you, or that the guys you're playing with, and know your part in the band. What is expected of you, and kind of understand that.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you just do Oktoberfests right now, or?
Yeah, well, mostly. I mean, we play some polka jobs. We usually play Our Lady of Czestochowa in Doylestown every Labor Day weekend, and then
Okay,
what other polka things come locally. Not looking to travel. I did that. I think after having the accident with Polka Family, it kind of changed my perspective on traveling a little bit
yes,
further. Like, I'll travel a couple hours out of my local area, but not looking to go to Minnesota anymore. Those days are
right,
over.
right, understandable. Now, let's switch gears. As I mentioned, tell everybody a little bit about when you got started as an IJ, and you are currently on Polish Newcastle Radio. correct?
Yeah. So I got started in, I think it was April 1st of 2009, originally on 24/7 Polka Heaven. I kind of moved around a little bit. Then I went over to Polka Legacy, which was on short lived. I did a brief stint as a sidekick with Nick Korlick on Nick at Night
Yeah.
on Polka Jammer, and then I went back to 24/7 Polka Heaven, and then eventually going over to Polish Newcastle Radio, where I am right now. So I actually host two shows there. I'm on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock for the Saturday morning push from 8 till 9, and then I come back later on Saturday from 4 to 6 with Broadband Polkas.
Gotcha.
And then I also run my own network called Broadband Polkas, which is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not so much. It's just fun for me to do. I'm not really looking to, as you know, Robin. This is not about competing against anybody. It's
Exactly.
just. I always thought it would be fun to have my own radio station. As a kid, as you know, Robin, we used to take the train together. If you remember, in the
Oh,
morning
yeah.
when you were going to work and I was going to college.
Yes.
And I was going to college for a communications degree. Well, that's what I graduated with, and so I always had a passion for broadcasting, and so I just thought it would be fun. I do it on live365.com. It's pretty much, it sits there. The station plays music. It's automated. I was on this morning. I can go on live whenever I want, but it's not there to necessarily compete. But I think we all get along. All the networks out there. It's great that you do your thing. All the other networks do. I always look at it this way: you go to a polka festival, and there might be one particular band that you really like, but you still go and support the other bands too, and that's what it's like with the networks.
Exactly. I totally agree. And next week, we have a guy by the name of Brian Shankus that is joining us here
Oh, nice.
talked about his music career and also Polish Newcastle Radio. And I told him, I says, we got to get Rob Mazer and some more folks on here too, because that's the same thing that Jerry and I do. We try to promote whatever we can, whoever we can. We promote 247 Polka Heaven, the Polka Jammer,
Right.
our local station WXRL in Buffalo with Ronnie D, with Mike Pasheb, with Greg Schwoiduk. We try to bring everybody out. And again, Polish Newcastle Radio, Rob and Brian and I have been friends for quite a few years, and
Yes.
they promote us, we promote them, so that's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob and Brian are great guys. Rob, and they're actually great friends of mine. And I love working for Rob because he's just an easygoing guy. I could tell him, hey, Rob, I want to do this or that. And he's like, okay, yeah, no problem. And Brian's great to work with. Brian is a technical wizard with this stuff. I think you are too. So it's great to, they get me up and running when something breaks down or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still not I'm not that technologically proficient. So I need the help of guys like you.
Yep, I hear you. Let's see here. So how long have you been actually doing the IJ stuff? You said 2009?
Yeah, since 2009. So,
Wow.
so I'll be coming up, I guess, on 15 years, April 1st. It's hard to believe, like that time just went by fast, as did the time that I've been playing polka music. I mean, I've been in this now, I guess, 40 some years. So it's hard to believe. Like, I always look back and when I was playing like with Val and those guys, like looking, wow, Val just turned 30, or, and now like I'm way past that, Al and Barb have grandkids, and it's just amazing how fast time goes. But yet,
Scary.
we all have that common bond of polka music where we all started. So we've never lost touch because of that. So I think that's, to me, one of the greatest things about polka music is that it keeps you in touch with people who probably, if you would have never met, or if you did meet them, maybe you just would have went on your own way and never kept in touch. So I think polka music has given us the opportunity to do that.
Sure. Well, Kevin, I got to say thank you so much. I hate to sound so cliche, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this 45, 50 minutes with us today. Please apologize to Maureen, but like you said, she's a fellow musician, and she kind of, relates to that. And hey, who knows? Maybe we get her on to share her story a little bit about the Polka Shamrock sometime. That would be great. And also,
if you can convince her to do that, Robin, I will give you my paycheck for the next 3 years. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I don't know if she would.
2.5 would be fine.
She's very shy and humble about that, but you might be able to convince her.
Well, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but Jerry, come June, is going to start her own little ditty for the interviews. I'm not going to do any interviews. I'm stepping back June and July. But she is
Oh,
going to
okay.
be talking with the ladies of polka music and primarily to get the point of view of the band wives and girlfriends
Oh, that's
so
great.
that they can say, okay, and she's already got a list of questions and she's got some people already lined up. So June is taken care of as far as scheduling, but she's moving now on to July. So that might not be a bad thing for Maureen to come
No,
on with
I'll mention
her.
it to Maureen.
Yeah, please. And, she'll briefly talk about Maureen's thing, but primarily, what's it like to be married to Kevin, who has traveled over the years and so on and so forth, and just kind of get the ladies' perspective of what is going on out there in the polka music world.
Yeah, it would be tough to do that without the support, and I have to thank my wife and my son both, because there were many weekends that I missed. A lot of things I missed,
Yeah.
and so now I'm kind of making up for it. And I do enjoy being home, and the jobs that I do now are relatively close to home, so I can kind of have the best of both worlds and have fun doing it. Before I finally hang up the accordion, I don't think I ever will, but
Yeah.
at some point, I probably will, just do a gig here and there and not do anything on a regular basis.
Hey, there's a gal by the name of Cheryl Kurdziel who has tuned in. And we do want to
Yes.
remind everybody, if you missed any of the interview with Kevin, it will be available not only on Facebook, but we're also available on Polkas After Dark. If you go over to YouTube and you type in the search Polkas After Dark, Kevin Kurdziel interview,
Yep.
no dashes or anything like that, and they'll be able to catch anything or everything that they missed at this point.
Yes. And for those that don't know, Cheryl is my sister, and she never played in a band, never played an instrument. Her thing was dance when she was growing up. So hello, Cheryl. Glad
Yeah.
to have you tune in tonight. And everything is doing well, so I hope everything is good with you. I'll have to give you a call very shortly.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Kevin, again, I can't thank you enough. God bless you. I love you. You know that. You've always
Love you
had
too, brother.
a special place in my heart, music wise, and just great to get a chance to share some of these stories.
And you know what? Maybe we can still get the exploded tones together.
That wouldn't be a bad idea before I depart for the unknown.
Right.
And I don't remember anything, but yeah, that would be a great idea. Maybe we just
You,
get
you,
a bunch of guys together just to gig, and that would be a lot of fun, actually.
it would. You know what? We just do one gig. We say it's our first and last gig, and then we do a reunion tour, because that seems to be the trend nowadays. Like that would be the best thing. Like Exploded Tones play today, they're done. This is their first job, last job. But you can catch them next year. There's going to be a reunion of the band at Polka Motion.
And I
So
can just picture that. People are like, who in the hell is the Exploded Tones?
oh yeah. Nowadays
Oh.
it might worry some people, but with some of
Yeah.
the things that go on in this world. But
Yeah, that's true,
yeah,
too.
we'll have to do that.
I could say something, but would get bumped off the air, so I'm not going to do that. There
Yeah,
was
right.
nothing about swearing. But
Right.
hey, it was great to talk to you. Have yourself a great week, and
You too. Thanks.
let's not make it years that we
No.
don't see each other. All right?
And keep up what you're doing too. It's much appreciated. Promoting polka music, really enjoy it.
Hey, same way with you, Kevin, and all the
Thank you.
folks that are out there on Polish Newcastle Radio, and just everybody. Just keep doing what you're doing, because we need to keep this music alive. That's all there is to it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Hey,
Thank you
thanks
very
again.
much, Robin.
All right. Have a good
thanks.
one. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Hey, folks, that was Kevin Kurdziel live. Hey, here's a polka family tune. Here's an obetic for you.
Oh, how I've wondered how it would be if you were sitting right next to me. Oh,
gdy obok ciebie ja siedziałem. Ojej, ojej, follow the girls, watch them dancing, twirling their curls. Ojej, ojej, ladies, you're lovely, maybe someday I can go calling. Oh, how I wish that you soon will see, if we were kissing, how good it would be. Oye, oye, follow the girls, watch them dancing, twirling their curls. Oye, oye, ladies, you're lovely, maybe someday I can go calling. Przy pocałunko, przy miłe zgodzie, aby się to stało w krótkim czasie. Ojej, ojej, follow the girls, watch them dancing, twirling their curls. Ojej, ojej, ladies, you're lovely, maybe someday I can go calling. Hey, dziewczyny,
Hey, Polka family. Oh, yay, Polka. That is, or I'm sorry, Obetic. I'm digressing here. Hey, if you missed any of the broadcast last evening, I know Steve Grimala got a chance to catch it because he told me today when we chatted for a brief couple of minutes. But we had Cindy Fisher on with the USPA. She is the president of the United States Polka Association, and she had some really great things to share, so we are going to play that again for you. It's just going to take a few minutes, but take a listen to this. Because we have a young lady who we have known for many years. Mom and Grandma, of course, handled the reins for the United States Polka Association for many, many years, and the reins have now been handed down through the family. We are so excited right now to let you guys hear the lovely voice of Cindy Fisher, our USPA president. Cindy, are you with me? Can you hear me?
Hi, Robin. How are you?
I am wonderful, Cindy. Thank you so very, very much for taking the time out of your busy Saturday night to join us. But,
thanks for having me.
well, hey, you know, you've got a lot of things coming down the pike, actually. So
We
why
do.
don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. We've got our March dance coming up. Of course, that's March 16th. That'll be Lenny Gomulka and Chicago Push and Dynabrast at our new home, the Crown Plaza in Middleburg Heights, Ohio. They are running a bus trip. I know you mentioned that earlier, so that'll be a fun trip, I think. We also have, prior to that, on February 25th, we have a joint USPA and Cleveland Polka Association dance with the Berg Boys at the Holiday Inn. It'll be in the lounge on Sunday, so that should be a good time as well. A couple things I wanted to let you know. We have a new award we're going to be doing this year. We're adding a new category. I think you'll appreciate it. It's for IJs and DJs. We want to recognize all the time and dedication it takes for you guys to do your special tribute shows or holiday or commemorative shows.
Oh, nice.
So we want to we're going to have an award recognizing those shows. And we'd like the members to vote on them. So any IJ, DJ who's done one of those types of shows, they can submit their shows to Linda Swiderski. We'll have all this information up on the website here shortly. I think we're looking for them by the end of February, and they'll be included on the ballot this year.
Oh, wow, that's great. Very, very nice. Hey,
Yeah, and then
go ahead.
just one other thing with the awards while I was thinking about it. We'll also want to announce that this year we always have the New Horizon Award, where we have we try to recognize the young musicians that are getting into the industry. And starting with this year's winner, USPA is going to be giving them $250 toward their musical education.
Wow. Oh, that is great, Cindy.
Yeah, so we're excited about that.
Now, also tell us briefly, and I did reach out to Emma Bogdan, and she is going to be sending us some information. But tell us, because you're now bringing back the Miss USPA pageant. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, so that's going to be on Sunday after Mass in the ballroom at the convention. So Emma has done a great job. She's all over Facebook. They have a form you can fill out. Any young girls who are interested in, Emma, Lori, they're all handling everything. It's going to be really great. I know Emma said that it made a huge difference for her. And I said a lot of the other queens have said the same thing. So I think it really is worthwhile for the girls if they want to get involved.
That is great. And now I'm also, because we're talking now about the USPA 55th. I can't believe that. 55 years already. The annual convention, that's coming up May 23rd through the 26th. And I have a little screen that I have put up here, which is showing that it is at the new location at the Crown Plaza. And they can call the Crown Plaza direct, or they can give you a call at 216-299-0934, or Cheryl Wojcik at 440-570-3407. But you have a tremendous lineup this year.
Yeah, and we just added to Friday nights. Is Maestro's Men, Dyna Brass, and Crusade with Eddie Biaggi on Friday.
Okay.
In the ballroom. We also have the New Tones on Friday in the ballroom, in the lounge in the afternoon.
Okay.
We're going to start Thursday night, though. We have a band in the lounge with Jack Beachley's jam band.
Okay.
And we're going to also do polka trivia on Thursday. Yeah, so that'll be fun. And then we go into Saturday. We have the lounge party after the banquets, and that's with Uptown Sound, Jody Matty here from Cleveland.
Yes.
And then we'll have in the ballroom, we've got New Generation, Frankie Leishka's Blue Magic, and The Beat. Then on Sunday, we have Polka Mass with John Gora. He does such a great job. Everyone loves his Polka Mass.
Yes, he does.
And then the pageant will follow the Polka Mass. And then in the ballroom, we've got TNT, John Gora, Polka Family, and Polka Country to end out the weekend.
Polka Country, that has been a tradition for many, many years.
They do a great job. They all do.
Yes. And the entire music selection that you have this year is just fantastic. So once again, hey, we wish you good luck and continued success. Coming up once again, Saturday, March the 16th, featuring Lenny Gomulka, Chicago Push, and the Dyna Brass. So you get two bands for $20. The doors open at 5 p.m. Music is from 6 until midnight, and that takes place at the brand new location, the Crown Plaza at 7230 Engle Road in Middleburg Heights, Ohio. If you haven't been there yet, do yourself a favor and swing by. Have a great time that particular evening. And again, we also mentioned that they're going to have a bus trip leaving Chicago, Illinois. They're going to be making a stop at Grand Rapids, Michigan, and also Toledo, Ohio, to bring some folks out to you. So that is going to be just super exciting. And again, we wish you continued success, Cindy. And once again, what's the best way? Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. You told me briefly that there is a brand new way that people can become members of the USPA. Tell us all about that.
Right, we finally have it. Everything's up and running. You can now join USPA and renew your memberships and pay online.
Oh, great.
And we also have, you're going to be able to do this online also. We're going to do the 3-day passes. You're going to be able to buy those online this year.
Oh, beautiful.
So we're really trying to work on, the website and getting it, to where people can do these things online. And we're also having one more new thing. We're going to have what we're calling the Ultimate Convention Raffle. So it'll be a raffle ticket. They'll be $10 each, and it's for a 2-night stay for the convention in May. You get 2 3-day passes. We're going to draw the winner at the spring dance with Lenny and Dyna Brass.
Okay.
if you don't have to be there to win, but if you are there and you win, we're going to give you an additional $100 in gift cards for local restaurants
Oh, wow,
to
that's
use
great.
convention weekend. Yeah, so that'll be up available here soon online as well.
Holy smokes. Well, it sounds like the USPA is doing a lot of great things this year. Again, congratulations, Cindy. You're doing a great job, and all of the folks are. I don't want to leave anybody out. Everybody on your board, all of your directors. We've got some great directors here in Western New York.
Absolutely.
P.D. Wojcik, whom
Right.
everybody has known for 150 years, and he looks great for 150, doesn't he?
You're right.
Also, Kayla Marie, and then you've got
Mhm.
Emily Midtak that's running the bus trip out there in Chicago to bring some folks in. So sounds like you got a great bunch of people, Cindy.
Yeah, we've got a great. Everybody's so willing to jump in and help and do things. It's not just one person or just the board. It takes everybody to get everything done.
Well, that's great. Really is. Hey, Cindy, thanks so much for joining us tonight on Polkas After Dark. And you have yourself a great rest of the weekend. Hey, do you guys have the equivalent of the Punxsutawney Phil? Yeah, well, that was a brief interview last evening, not an interview, but we thank the lovely Cindy Fisher for coming on, our USPA president, United States Polka Association president, out of the Cleveland, Ohio area. She joined us last evening, and we wanted to make sure that we shared all of that information with you. As we did. Hey, you're also taking a look at something on your screen. And I know that some people say, well, it's a little small to take a look at. Well, let's tell you a little bit about this. The Mix presents the first annual Valentine's Dance, and that is coming up on February the 10th. That is next week, Saturday, or should I say this week, Saturday, coming up. It'll be the 10th from 6:30 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. Where is it located? It's located at Scully's hometown, formerly the Zielinski Ballroom at 149 West Pulaski Street in Pulaski, Wisconsin. Admission is only $10. And you definitely want to get the chance to go out. Its mixed merchandise will also be available, and just promote Pulaski as their sponsors. So it's the Mix presents the first annual Valentine's Dance, and we do hope that you get a chance to swing by there and say hello to everybody, and make sure that you let them know that you saw us here on Polkas After Dark. And we also want to make mention about something else coming up here, and that is the big Punchki Day event with the Polish Heritage Dancers. That takes place on February the 11th, Sunday, at the Holy Mother of the Rosary on Broadway in Lancaster. Music, of course, is featured by Special Delivery. They're going to be there entertaining up until, let's see, I think it's 4 p.m. And if you guys get a chance, go out, support the event, and also get a chance to check out the dancers, the Polish Heritage Dancers. They do a great thing as well. We also want to make mention while we're doing this about Val Bukowski's big Dingus Day celebration. Val Bukowski, of course, had run these events for years, and was at Randolph Hall, I think, was probably where he first started his event. And then it went over to, a couple of different locations, Salvatore's Italian Gardens, and then it is now returning to the Millennium Hotel. It used to be the Millennium Hotel. It's now called the M Hotel, located at 2040 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga. If you're interested in getting a room, give them a call at 716-681-2400. That's 681-2400. And some of the bands that you're going to be hearing on Easter Sunday, for example, is Lenny Gomolkin Chicago Push and 7 Polka Band from Buffalo. Then on Monday, Dingus Day, you're going to be entertained in the afternoon by Mr. John Stevens with his Polka Band. And then in the evening, everything shifts over to the ballroom, and you're going to be entertained by Livewire out of Wisconsin. It is their first Buffalo, New York appearance. and that's going to be a lot of fun. And also with Eric Bukowski's Dingus Day Band, aka the Clinton Street Band, if you guys remember them when they used to run Clinton Street Bar and Grill. But here's a tune by Seven off of their brand new recording called Hup Sa Sa.
Dużo zobaczyłam, napotkałem chłopca, tak się nauczyłam. Hopsasa, nie bądź taka, daj mi dziewurzaka, szepto mi do ucha, ojca ci przeducha. W nocy do mnie chodził, nigdy nie powodził, gdy go nie puściłam, to za oknem nucił. Hopsasa, nie bądź taka, daj mi dziewurzaka, szepto mi do ucha, ojca ci przeducha. Puść mnie, dziewczę, puść mnie do twojego domu. Mam dla ciebie całość, nie mów nic nikomu. Hopsasa, nie bądź taka, daj mi dziewurzaka, szepto mi do ucha, oj co ci przeducha. Gdy przyszedł do domu, nie dał mi spokoju, szeptał mi do ucha, tyś moja dziewucha. Hopsasa, nie bądź taka, daj mi dziewurzaka, szepto mi do ucha, oj to ci przeducha.
Hey, that's the band called Seven, and look what just dropped in. Well, dropped out of the sky, I should say. The Eagle has landed. Jerry is back in Buffalo, but she still has to get her luggage because she takes like 6 or 7 suitcases with her when she goes for 4 days. Mostly it's all shoes out of the 2, anyhow. So she has like 4 that has clothes in them. And, well, you can ask her about that next week. But Polkas After Dark is what you are tuned to, kids. And we're all excited about that. Hey, we've got a song by Lenny Gomulka, Chicago Push. And don't forget, Lenny Gomulka, Chicago Push, and Seven will be entertaining you on Easter Sunday over there at Val's Dingus Day on Sunday, March the 31st, Easter Sunday. And then on Monday, you've got Livewire and the Dingus Day Band, which is going to be a lot of fun. And also, don't forget, John Stevens plays the pool party in the afternoon.
In the morning when I rise, I think of you. And late at night, I close my eyes, you're there too. You're the very special one that I'm always thinking of. And I'm always gonna stay in love with you. And I'm never gonna say goodbye. And I'm always gonna love you till the end of time. Like a lock without a key, without you I'm not me. And I'm never gonna say goodbye.
Hey, good evening to Mr. Daryl Welton. We're going to have him on sometime, I think in April or May, coming up for an interview, so you don't want to miss that with the New Brass Express. We're also going to say hello to Camille Strauss and the lovely Helena Garbach. She is here, along with Mary Lou Czerniak and Frank Murkowski. Good evening to you, Frank. Also, Valerie and Nikki Nido have tuned in. Mr. Rick Beekler, and of course, Karen and JP.
There is nothing in the world I'd rather do than spend each day and night right next to you. In my life, you're number one, and I've gotta tell you, hon, that I'm always gonna stay in love with you. And I'm never gonna say goodbye. And I'm always gonna love you till the end of time. Like a rock without a key, without you, I'm not me. And I'm never gonna say goodbye.
Hey, good evening to Loretta Curtis. Hello, Linda Vishneski. Hey, Lenny Gomolka, Chicago Push. You're tuned to Polkas After Dark. We've got about 20 more minutes here before we vacate the area. And you guys are seeing Jerry on Facebook. She's chatting with some folks, Loretta Curtis Mackle. And Jerry is at the airport. She just landed in Buffalo, and she's going to be on her way home. So I have to get into the kitchen right at 7:01 and start making dinner. It's going to be great, honey, because the wings are going to taste just like Pat's. You're not going to believe it. But that's kind of it right now. Hey, classics, you know, Jackie LeBaron and the Classics were around for, a few years. And back in 1994, they came to a place called the McKinley Inn. And they recorded some stuff live over there. And here's one called Kukuwechka. You'll recognize the vocal because Jackie is going to be performing on Monday, Dingus Day, over there at Val's. Right there. You see that? Right there. Val's Dingus Day Weekend returns back to its former glory, okay, at the newly renovated M Hotel, which used to be the Millennium Hotel at 2040 Walden Ave. You do want to make sure that you get your reservations. We've got people coming in from out of town on Saturday night, believe it or not, and we're hoping to maybe do a broadcast out there. I really hope we can, but let's go ahead and play something by Jackie.
Życie przebywała, żeś ty dla mnie wcale nie kukała, kuk. Poznałem się, dziewczyno we dworze, cieszysz mi się, podgrzała mnie Boże, kuk. Wykukaj mi śmiele, w którym roku będziemy wesele, kuk. Ej, kukułeczka, wreszcie mi kukała, ziemna luba, nie będzie nie chciała, kuk.
yeah, Jackie Libera and the Classics recorded live. That's one called Kukułeczka Polka. Hey, just keep in mind that you want to get your room reservations early for Sunday, March the 31st and Monday, April the 1st. Stay 2 nights, or if you stay 3 nights, that's okay with us too. Some people are staying an extra day after, but some people are coming in like the Reels and the Lins and a whole bunch of other folks. I think Mr. Libera is going to be in town early. I do also hear that we may see the Captain and the Rymanowskis. That could be in the mix as well, and some other great polka personalities that you will want to see. Hey, from Musical Mark Swoger, here's one for you.
Let's go down to the dance hall, baby, down to the dance hall, baby, down to the dance hall tonight. My favorite band is playing those happy, happy polkas. Everyone's hopping up and down. The people are swaying, the music is playing. We're gonna party all night long. Let's go down to the dance hall, down to the dance hall tonight. Come on, everybody, let's go down to the dance hall. Let's go down. Let's go down to the dance hall, baby, down to the dance hall, baby, down to the dance hall tonight. When the clock strikes midnight, the band will be playing all of those happy polka songs. The people, the places, the music that makes it. Everyone's dancing all around. Let's go down to the dance hall, down to the dance hall tonight.
Yeah, that's not me fading it out. That's how the song ends. It's called Down at the Dance Hall. That's John Stevens Polka Band. Yep, you'll be seeing them over there at the M Hotel. They're going to be doing the pool party, and these guys are going to be working their little buns off on Dingus Day. Here's one called Moonshiners, Obedic. Yes, sirree. This is Livewire out of Wisconsin off of their brand new Short Circuit recording.
I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. And if you don't like me, then leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry. If the moonshine don't kill me, then I'll live till I die. I've been a moonshiner for many a year. I spent all my money on vodka and beer. I'll go to some hollow, set up my still, and I'll make you a gallon for a $10 bill. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. And if you don't like me, then leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry. If the moonshine don't kill me, then I'll live till I die. I'll go to some tavern out in the country. With a gallon of moonshine, I'll go on a spree. With women to follow, the world is all mine. And I love them as much as I love the moonshine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. And if you don't like me, then leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry. If the moonshine don't kill me, then I'll
these guys are coming up for a reunion real soon on April 20th, as a matter of fact, over at Potts Banquet Hall on Rossler Avenue in Cheektowaga. Here's the news.
Chances are you will be going out with him tonight. Chances are you won't be going home alone. He'll say those words so many times you've heard. You'll use him as a stepping stone. Chances are you're tossing, turning nights that carry on. And I know the thought of me will cross your mind. Is it the end? And was it pretend? A guy like me, you know you'll never find. So tell me, when did our love seem to wander? Together we wish upon a star. I'll bet we're not done 1,000,000 to 1. Tell me just what my chances are.
Hey, good evening to Mr. Pete Peruki. He's going to be in town hanging out with us on Easter Sunday and Dingus Day. Fantastic drummer from Chicago. He's going to be playing on Dingus Day.
Chances are cold, bitter winter nights I'll spend alone, jealous someone else is sharing them with you. I'll drink away our memories each day. It heals the broken heart I have for you. Chances are you'll hear the song and you will stop to think of all the chances you have taken in your life. Well, here's one from me. I'm down on one knee and asking you if you would be my wife. So tell me, when did our love seem to wander? Together we wish upon a star. I'll bet we're not done 1,000,000 to 1. Tell me just what my chances are.
Cause it might last today, but then again, it just might last forever.
Oh yeah, the news, they're going to be entertaining you, and Chris Tansky said that she does have tickets, advance tickets for that reunion coming up on April the 20th, right here in the Buffalo, New York area for the news, which is going to be a lot of fun. So please make sure that you get a chance to come and hang out with us. Hey, we've got time for about 2 more tunes. Here's TBC, Frank Lishka, a little bit of I Wonder Why. Hey kids, thanks so much for putting us on. As we always say, if you've been listening in your car, thanks for the ride. Jerry usually says that. I don't usually do that, but she'll be back next week, and she'll be able to chat with you guys and let you know exactly what's coming down the pike, huh? It's 6:54 p.m. We're out of here at 7.
I hear music and there's no one there. I smell blossoms and the trees are bare. All day long I seem to walk on air. I wonder why, I wonder why. I've been walking in my sleep at night, and once more I lost my appetite. Stars that used to twinkle in the skies are twinkling in my eyes. I wonder why.
Lemony.
blossoms and the trees are bare. All day long I seem to walk on air. I wonder why, I wonder why. I've been walking in my sleep at night, and once more I lost my appetite. Stars that used to twinkle in the skies are twinkling in my eyes. I wonder why.
Hey, how about Richie took ours to sing one with you? One for you. One called Leaving Chicago. Polka. Here's Eddie Blazonczyk Sr. with all the versatones. Hey, good night, Wigs.
Ludzie tu w Chicago poleczkie tańcują i po wszystkie bala wesoło śpiewają. Piosenki wesołe się im podobają. Hej, wesołe życie ludzie tutaj mają. Piosenki wesołe się im podobają. Hej, wesołe życie ludzie tutaj mają.
Hey, good night, Mr. Rob Milka.
Gdy przyjdzie sobor, a wieczoreczek biegnie, klubaki na salach, nie gardło żałuje, hulają błaszliwie, muzyka nagrywa, całą noc nadziei, ludziom się odbywa. Hulają błaszliwie, muzyka nagrywa, całą noc nadziei, ludziom się odbywa.